And we all right, man. We're here. BDP talks football. How you doing, man?
Doing good, doing good.
Good. Awesome.
Nice,
All right.
nice day of rest for everybody.
Yeah. I'm gonna start out with one complaint, and I
Yeah.
guess it doesn't matter as much, being that there are no starters aren't playing. We're not really playing for anything. But what the hell? Why is it? What the hell are we doing at 4:35? It's or 4:25. It's not a national game. It's Washington and Philly. It should be a 1 o'clock start.
Mm. Oh well, I
We've
guess
had
the
enough
NF.
of these weird hour starts.
Yeah, I guess they were trying to manufacture a close division race, and
I
unfortunately,
guess,
it
but I
failed.
don't know.
Unfortunately,
I
it failed
guess I
because
don't know why they.
you saw all the
Yeah.
manufacturing they did last week with the Steelers and the
Oh yeah.
Browns, and
Oh
people
yeah.
are saying they manufactured yesterday's game with the Buccaneers and the Panthers. So the NFL is pulling a lot of strings trying to get some of these ratings up. I don't know
It
why they
does.
would need to because the ratings are freaking
Are
ridiculous.
insane, right,
Yeah,
right,
so
yeah, but it
I
does
guess it's
you're right,
just the betting
it does seem that way,
line
it does seem that
really
way,
pays them in their
um,
pocket.
yeah, there was a lot of questionable stuff in that Buccaneers-Panthers game, by the way.
Mm, mm, mm.
A lot of questionable stuff,
Yeah,
but that's the way it is.
got to get these lady referees off the field. I'm just saying.
Ouch. Uh-oh.
Dude, I'm just saying
Uh-oh.
because I not only did I see that last night, I saw that in one of these college football games. I want to say it
Yeah.
was um the Georgia Ole Miss game. We just got a freaking random pass interference call. And the problem is CDS, the issue is whether it's a right call or a wrong call, that shouldn't be going through people's minds like, damn, she just can't call games properly. She just can't throw
Right,
flags.
right,
That just shouldn't
right,
be entering the equation.
right.
And
Shouldn't be.
they've opened up Pandora's box and I got to deal
Yeah,
with it. It is what it is.
yeah, but, part of the problem, and this is why none of this stuff will ever get fixed, to go right back to what you just said about the ratings, and then you made that comment about how, you don't know why because the ratings are massive. So that's it. Think about that. If there's one thing, now we may argue about specific calls, but if there's one thing all fans are in agreement on, it's how bad the officiating is. Whatever the reason, whether it's incompetence, it's corruption, game fixing, sports betting, whatever it is insanely, insanely bad.
Mm.
Right.
And
And yet there is no, my point being, there's no incentive for them to fix it because
yeah,
everyone's still tuning in.
and it's actually funny now that I'm sitting here thinking about it. It seems as if the NFL, I don't want to say tries to hide it, but the NBA is just right in your face. We're in bed with gambling companies, right? The NBA is like
Right. Yeah,
very
yeah.
in your face about it. The
Yeah.
NFL tries to be a little bit more subtle about how much they're in bed with the gambling companies.
Right.
Just going back to the referees point, CDS, that's the problem. It's like, wait, so we saw the Eagles go up against the Rams. Appreciate everybody for stopping by already. It's so early that the stream started. So we see the Eagles go up against the Rams early in the season, and we see, what is it, Devonte Adams yank Reed Blankenship or push off of Reed Blankenship, whatever that play was,
Right.
the clear
Yeah.
offensive pass interference and things like that
Yep.
don't get called. And then we go back to last week, and I gave AJ Brown shit for this, and I still think he should have called it. You're AJ Brown, that you compare yourself to TO, but we see him
Absolutely.
clearly get his arm pinned along his side. He can't even
Yep.
bring it up. So it's just frustrating how consequential that call can be. If they change the rule to, and that's actually one thing that I like about the college game, that when I saw that offensive pass interference, I actually had like a sigh of relief that they weren't just going to spot it at the 1 yard line. Like, oh, cool,
Right,
it's
right,
just a
right.
15-yard penalty, first down. The game's not completely over because you just handed a team an easy touchdown. You just handed them an easy 20 yards. The fact that quarterbacks, I understand you want to game the system. I understand that. Like, you're trying to find loopholes to win. I get it, right? But the fact that we can just toss balls 50 yards down the field, praying for a PI just to kind of get out of, just to bail yourself out, to move the chains along, it's not, it shouldn't really be a part of the game. If you turn into a 15-yard penalty, we wouldn't be seeing that nearly as much. And I don't think you'd see fans be outraged nearly as much when blatant bad calls like some of the ones that we saw last night take place.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, when we've had this conversation before about the pass interference and stuff, but then it goes, I don't know the solution because it goes the other way too. Like, Well, first of all, they didn't call it at all, right? The AJ Brown one, which is as
Yeah.
blatant as it gets. The official is right there in perfect position. The only way you don't call that, there's no way you get to that level and you're so incompetent that you didn't see it.
Mm.
You saw it, you know it's a penalty. You chose not to call it. But here's the thing: if that had been called, that penalty, perfectly thrown football, the defender is beat, so he grabs AJ Brown. I'd have been pissed if it was only a 15-yard penalty. You know what I
Mm.
mean? It's like,
Well, that's because we're going backwards. That's because we're going backwards. You know what I mean?
yeah,
The college game, they didn't. I'm only saying close, like because we'd be comparing
right,
it
right,
to how
right,
it is in the old. Like the college, I'm like,
right,
dude, they don't complain saying, well, if this was the NFL, they'd be at the 1 yard line. Like, dude,
right, right, right.
it felt great knowing that Ole Miss game wasn't
Yeah,
decided because of a
yeah,
terrible pass interference call.
yeah.
But I get what you're saying. You know, we're going to be comparing it
And
to how it would
yeah,
have
and
been.
just on that AJ Brown one for a minute too is also everything that came of that game. I think in terms of like the narrative
Mhm.
would have also been different too, because the end we wouldn't have had that ending, right? Like
Yeah,
that was a touchdown,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Even if it's not caught, I mean it wasn't so, but if we get that call, you know that we score a touchdown.
yeah.
Even with the tush push struggles lately, we still score a touchdown from first and
Absolutely.
goal at the one. I
No,
mean, we just, that's the way the Eagles are right now. But
that's the
actually, let
problem.
me,
It's just too subjective, these calls, CDS. Like,
yeah,
I don't know the difference between pass interference and defensive holding at this point. I don't know if we're talking about actual after 5 yards or like after 10 yards or after
yeah,
two
no,
yards or
that is a
after they
huge
say
problem.
hike. It's
And,
just,
and
there's
yeah, and
no,
I'll give you one, and this has been a pet peeve of mine ever since they got it into the league, and what is both, you know, kind of makes me feel better about my own insanity, but also makes it more frustrating is
mm,
anyone involved in the game. The announcers, rules analysts, people. They have actually, I've heard multiple ones admit what I'm going to tell you is, and that is nobody has any idea what a hit on a defenseless receiver actually is.
no, no.
No one knows. The referees don't know. It's just sometimes something looks bad enough, they throw the flag. Other times they
Yeah.
decide not to. I have no idea what. First of all, it's a dumb rule, which is one of the newer. I mean, it's been around probably like a decade now, but it's relatively new to obviously to the NFL. But nobody has any idea what it is. Basically, to me, it's like if a receiver gets hit legally but hard and drops the football, we throw a flag. Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
sometimes we
Yeah.
don't
And
always.
and to add to that, so is it leading with the head? Is it leading with the shoulder? Is it going helmet to helmet? Is it not going helmet to helmet? Sometimes I see helmet to helmet and it's not helmet to helmet, but so then I
Yeah, yeah.
don't see helmet to helmet and it is helmet to helmet. It,
Well, oh,
it's and the problem is they can always go back. Like we see how fast a ball might get called short, and then New York is in their ear and saying, "Oh,
yeah, yeah.
after assistance, it's a first down." Before they even say we're going to review the play, like before they call hike again, they say, "Oh, after help, it's a first down. Move the chains along." They could do the same thing with
Yeah.
these helmet
And
with these real
well,
consequential calls, dude.
consequential calls that can and to that point, there's another one where again, it's something they brought into the league to try and stem the outrage about head injuries, right?
Yeah,
Like, oh, okay, we're going to do this for player safety. It's the same thing with the reason that they've ruined the kickoff and the onside kick and everything, which there were never concussions from onside kicks because they aren't high speed collisions and everything, but they can pretend and say, oh, player safety.
mm,
But here's what really pisses me off about the helmet to helmet. And to your point, if we have good people doing it, it is something that can be fixed quickly with replay. Is I am so tired of seeing defenders already commit. You know how fast the game is, right? I'm tired of seeing defenders already commit to their tackle, and then
mm,
the offensive player lowers their head, lowers
yeah,
their body positioning, and what was not going to be helmet to helmet is now helmet to helmet, and the defender gets a penalty. And I'm like, wait,
hmm,
the player with the ball caused it. If you
yeah,
want to call something helmet to helmet, then call it on the offense because they
yeah,
did it.
yeah. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, call it on them.
You know what I mean?
They
Like that's
initiated
what I'm
it.
saying
Yeah,
is, yeah, they initiated. They're the ones that that called it because the defender's already committed to their tackle. It's
yeah,
just like to be fair, I get protecting quarterbacks, and there's a whole slew of problems with it, like Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. But if a quarterback is playing that nonsense on the sideline, and they're starting to go upfield, and a defender's just sprinted 40 yards to get a mobile quarterback. They've already gone into tackling position. They've already like launched themselves at the quarterback's waist, not at their head or their knee or anything. And then the quarterback decides, I'm going to step out of bounds, and the hit actually occurs out of bounds. Screw that. That's not a penalty. The defender committed to the tackle when the quarterback was playing games and still in bounds. You know what I mean? Like, there's just so much that could be fixed. But to that point, I want to show you something real quick since we're on this topic.
Yeah.
Because this was the let's see if I can figure out how to do this. How do I get this onto the screen? How do I can you see what I'm sharing or no?
It is not it's not on stage yet.
Okay. So let me see if I can get this. I'm not seeing it either. I have it down in the bottom, but it's not on the it's not on the
this
in
the
screen.
The main stage.
Wait, let me see. Okay. No, I can't. I wanted to hold on. No, I want to cancel that. Why can't I get it? Darn, I wanted to show you something from the Bucks game in terms of the quarterback stuff, but I don't know why this is not going. I don't know why this is not going on here. Share. Chrome tab. Share. Okay, there it is. Sharing this tab to console. Okay. And I can't I don't know. All right, well, I'll try while we're talking, but I wanted to show you a play, but for some reason I can't get it onto my screen. Oh well.
You sure?
I can't. I don't know. Yeah, I can't. It's down at the bottom where I've like.
Damn, you were doing so good last week.
I know. I got it last week. I don't know why. I don't know why it won't. It won't add this week, man. I was like,
we got to do this more. We got to do this more continuously. That the CDS got rusty over the weekend.
I'm telling you, man. Something weird happened. Yeah. Okay.
What play is this?
Okay, hold on. This is bizarre. I got it now.
There we go.
I figured it out. It's really actually kind of weird. It says I have to go remove from scene for then it to say add to scene. But check this out. Let me see. We have here. You're gonna love this, man. Let me make this. I'm gonna even cover us up because I don't know how big I can make this. But check this out. Can you see that now?
On the main stage?
There we go.
Boom. Here we go.
All right. Check this out, man. This is ruled an incomplete pass, man. Okay? Watch where he throws that. Look at that. And they all just stop. And he rules it incomplete. I mean, this is as obvious.
Okay, now hold on.
Okay.
Is this incomplete or is this a backwards lateral we're saying that should be a fumble?
It should be a fumble.
Okay. Because
that's what I'm saying, and it's pretty obvious
because it's thrown behind him, right?
It's thrown behind him.
Okay.
And you can see the ref coming in saying incomplete, right?
Okay. Uh-huh.
Now here is the how do I get out of the? Here's the funnier thing.
Now, you want to know the crazy thing here, CDS? This is the thing. I don't want to cut you off, but the fact I had to ask that question because I've seen this play so many times called incomplete, like clear backwards passes that aren't called incomplete. Like it causes me to second guess my own logic. That's why I had to ask.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing. What we've heard so many times, and we see it on other plays that are ridiculous, is, you got to let it play out because replay can correct it, right? So in order to do that, your instinct as an official should be it's a live ball because if it's not, we can fix that, but they can't do it the other way. Yeah. But here's the crazy thing, man. Okay. It was obviously you saw the official ruled it forward pass. So it was incomplete. Then the referee announces, oh, wait, it was a backward pass, but it went out of bounds. So the Panthers lose 6 yards and then they end up missing a 54-yard field goal.
Oh, wow.
what? Like what? How insane is that? This is what I mean about how bad officiating is. Um,
That's crazy.
that like they got it wrong on so many levels.
And they punished the team they got it wrong against.
Yeah, and they put. Yeah, I mean, it should have been.
You got to
I mean,
put it back side by
that's the
side.
thing. They ruled it. Well, they ruled it incomplete. Well, once you do that, like it's done, which is which is the problem. I said you got to rule it. You got to let it play out as a fumble. Now, of course, unfortunately, I mean the players didn't know either. That's also on the players for just stopping.
You know,
But
what's funny,
that's the
CDS?
type of stuff that's a
It's
problem.
now to that point. How many times do we see clearly the quarterbacks just throw it in the dirt, defenses pick it up and run the other way, and then only by the time they get into the end zone they start blowing the play dead?
Right, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The ball clearly causes a fumble on a play. Clearly, everybody knows it. They pick it up. They're running it 30 yards down the field, and then only when they're 10 yards out from the end zone, they start blowing the ball dead. They start blowing the play dead. Yeah, it's my reasonable brain wants to think that it's training. You know what I'm saying? Like my reasonable mind wants to say that, with training it'll improve. But I don't think it'll ever improve. You know? I don't think they're you're muted. I don't think they're gonna give good training.
Oh, whoops, sorry.
I just don't I I don't know what it is, man. I don't want to trash whoever's teaching these guys and say they're just not getting trained properly, but it has to be a combination of not getting trained properly, not paying attention, not being qualified, not knowing how to actually implement what you're training in live action.
Yeah.
I mean, you can watch 10 million replays, and I know this play is kind of caused me to go on a tangent, but still focused on
Yeah.
referees. You can watch millions of replays. You're watching a replay that a guy's just rewinding and fast forwarding and rewinding and fast
Yeah.
forwarding. You're not like getting your actual training in live ball action.
Right. Oh, yeah, it's very
You know what I
different.
mean?
Very different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get that. And it's a very, and I can speak to that experience that it's very different because I did it for soccer and basketball.
Yeah.
And, getting trained and understanding the rules is night and day from actually being out there live action where it's just you, and especially soccer. For those of the people know, it is just you, right?
Yeah.
You're not a team like all these other. You don't have 6 or 7 other people be like, "Hey, man, I didn't really see that well. What do you think? What should we call?" And their safety and numbers and all that.
What do
It's
you have in
just you,
soccer?
man.
The ref on the field and then the two guys calling off sides,
And
right?
the 2 guys, yeah, I mean, they actually do have other responsibilities, although at the youth level, for the most part, they really don't do much else
Mhm.
other than that. I mean, well, throwing, right? Like, and even for throw-ins, they're supposed to just put up their flag to let the center ref know that it was out. But then
Ah,
it's the center ref really that's saying, who gets it. And they do have other things that they're supposed to call,
okay.
like in terms of fouls and stuff. But yeah, but 99% of it, it's on
Gotcha.
the center ref, which I actually think is a problem. Now, there's a thing, not to go on a tangent, but since we're improving
Well, also that
referees,
could go to your point. Maybe there's too much responsibility on these NFL referees, and that's why they're actually messing up because you're delegating responsibility too much. There's too
yeah,
many
yeah,
of them,
right,
like
right.
it could go both ways a little
Well,
bit.
that's what I mean, and they can be. That's what I'm saying. There's
Yeah,
that safety in numbers, and they can be like,
yeah.
"Oh man, I didn't really see this. What'd you guys see?" And then we're like, oh, "Okay, here's what we're gonna all do together," and
Yeah. Well, you're
none of us
only
are
as
gonna take
strong as your weakest
responsibility.
link. You're only as
Yeah,
strong
yeah,
as your
yeah.
weakest link.
I
So if
mean,
your
think
weakest
about
link
it.
is a
Like,
fucking dodo,
yeah, like you have this one. You had that
uh,
official who's right there with a good view, who immediately calls incomplete.
of course he had to be a black guy. These guys are fucking up DEI, man. They really are.
And then he gets cover because the referee's like, "Oh no, it was a lateral, but you know what? It went out of bounds."
Yeah,
But it didn't go out of bounds,
yeah,
right? You saw the running back pick it
yeah,
up off the bounce.
yeah. And then what? The Buccaneers player just punched it out of his hand, and it went out of bounds.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah, I don't even right. Yeah, it's like the whole
yeah.
yeah, the whole
How
thing's
bad? Bad
really
news bears,
bizarre.
man. Bad news bears.
But anyway, back to, I guess we'll get to specifically to some Eagles stuff. Although, I was wondering, I was getting on there. I'm like, well, here's the one thing I'll tell you. This is wild. The one
Oh
thing
my
that I
god, dude! Let
actually,
something like that happen to the Eagles, dude. The fucking whole league will burn down.
I guess it will. Here's my
It'll
worry
burn
with
down.
this game.
Yeah.
Uh,
Tonight's game.
yeah, the Eagles
Okay.
game,
Okay.
and it's only a worry because of the way we know national media reacts to Eagles stuff. Like
Mm.
if it was any other quarterback really than Jalen Hurts, I this thought wouldn't cross my mind, but because of the way they have treated him, part of my brain in the back here is like, I'm not really sure that I want Tanner McKee to have a good game. You know what I mean? Because then all we're going to hear is how he is the greatest quarterback to enter the NFL since, Dan Marino, and he should be the starter. And, the only chance the Eagles have to repeat is if Tanner McKee plays, and, on and on and on. You know that.
Dude,
that's
they're already talking about a Tanner McKee, JJ McCarthy quarterback battle in Minnesota. I'm already seeing that on the timeline. I'm already seeing that.
Actually, you know what? I think Tanner McKee is a better quarterback than JJ McCarthy. To be fair, I will say this: I actually like Tanner McKee as a quarterback.
Yeah,
and I got to step back for a second, kind of out of my Philly Eagle fandom, and be like, Tanner McKee as a quarterback, I kind of want him to go somewhere else where he gets an opportunity, because I think he could start in this league in the right place. And I kind of accepted that he's got enough potential that he's not going to be a Philadelphia Eagle backup forever. It's just, it's just not. He's too valuable trade wise, because you're going to get teams out there that have seen enough of him on tape and be like, that could be our guy, right? That could be our Brock Purdy. That type of thing.
Yeah,
that could be our Drake May.
Keep him away from the Jets, man. If I'm Tanner McKee's agent, dude, stay away from the Jets. I don't think the Jets.
If you're his, yeah,
dude. Because I don't think that. I mean, I know we talk Eagles here, but if I'm the Jets or the Giants, and I miss out on Fernando Mendoza, I'm pivoting straight to Mac Jones or Tanner McKee. Like I'm pivoting straight to these younger
guys. They're both guys that could be traded. If I'm the Eagles, I don't think I want to trade him in the NFC.
Yeah.
Just because you never know, right? And that's what I'm saying. He's shown enough. Now, here's the thing. I'm not one of those be like, oh, Tanner McKee should be our starter. He has this, and this. I'm like, you've got Jalen Hurts, who's what, 27, 28 maybe, who's gone to 2 Super Bowls. You don't do that.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about risk. You don't be like, oh, well, we're going to give up on Jalen Hurts as he's about to enter his prime and start Tanner McKee, who's thrown 7 passes. He's thrown more, but you know my point.
Yeah.
You just don't do it. But Tanner McKee has shown enough that you're also not going to keep him as a backup for years. You know what I mean? That's just not. And I think there'd be enough interest that you could get something valuable in return. Even if it's just a draft pick. Because let's face it, now let's get into something that really, really matters. Philadelphia Eagles. If there's one thing for this team that has been a big reason for the sustained success, and really you could even go back into the years of Andy Reid when they were good.
John Runyon, Jeremy Mayberry. And the other side of the ball too is the Eagles, I think, better than any team in the NFL, have consistently focused on, we're going to win the trenches, both sides of the ball. Corey Simon.
And then we'll
Douglas.
So good. Yes.
Javon Curse.
Then we build out from there, right? And let's face it, this year,
Javon Curse in an Eagles uniform was a fucking beautiful sight, dude. I'm sorry, dude. Dude, Javon Curse just looked like a fucking monster in that Eagles uniform. Holy shit.
But
dude, that's your fault. When you start getting me reminiscing about like the early 2000s
that's why I grew
up on, man.
That's why I'm staying focused. Well, but see, that's like you go early 2000s, man. You don't go back far enough to when they actually had a nickname, and it was Gangrene, and you had Jerome Brown, and you had Reggie White, and you had those guys. You had Clyde Simmons, right? You had those guys in the trenches. That was the ultimate defensive line for Philly, but the offensive side of the ball this year has not been that, right? No. It's been an anomaly. And I think, and I'm at fault with this as well, which is why I did that video yesterday finally, is there's been so much focus in the media that then we, of course, react to and focus on about, Jalen Hurts. And of course, via a lot of that with the media because of the A.J. Brown stuff, that the offensive line has not gotten smacked around enough in the media because it has been really, really bad. Like really bad.
What's the temperature like in the Eagles media? Like, are they talking about it, or they're not even talking about it either?
Not much. We get
Okay.
the occasional here and there from some of them, but like the big voices, it's mentioned here and there. I
Okay.
mean, I think yesterday, which is kind of why I did it, because I was planning on getting to one anyway, because we've talked about it a little bit, but there was somebody, um, and forget his name, Shane. I forget his name, Shane, someone who, came out. And I mean, he didn't come out with it. I forget who put it out, but he basically said, run block rate in terms of, I forget how it's worded, but like actually whiffing on
Oh, for Cam
blocks in the
Jurgens?
running game. Cam Jurgens is dead last.
Yeah, I saw that.
I mean, think about that. What kind of offensive success are you going to have with the worst center in the NFL?
And the problem, this is the worst part about Cam Jurgens being so poor, is that the untrained eye sees it. Like I see it. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right, right. Yeah,
Like if just a regular football fan, like let's say you're a casual and you're just watching, you might not always know what's going on in the offensive line. But
right.
if it's such a glaring issue that you can see, dude, this center just is always by himself on the screen.
Yeah.
That's not
Well,
good. That's not good at all.
I'll give you a great example. That video I did yesterday, and this is what I used. One example I used for Cam, it was the running game. It was a Jalen's under center, right? It's a traditional play. I think they do the best actually when he is under center. And he hands it off to Saquon Barkley, and Saquon Barkley gets popped right away. Now he actually sort of broke that, and he ended up with a loss, but instead of a 6-yard loss, it was like a 1 or 2 yard loss. But on the snap, there's a tackle over to Cam Jurgens. And on the snap, you can see like there's no stunt, no pulls or anything. You can tell who Cam is supposed to block.
Yeah.
And he completely whiffs.
Mm.
He snaps. He goes to block the tackle. The tackle sidesteps him, misses him completely, and then just whacks Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, he's
I mean, you cannot win a Super Bowl with that kind of play from your
no,
center.
not at all. Not at all.
Now, what's crazy is, I've heard, oh, he's playing hurt. Okay, but here's the problem I have with that. If you're playing her, and like I appreciate that, and a lot of NFL players do it, and look, you have to, right? It's the nature of the game. But if you're hurt so much that you're saying that's the reason you are the worst in the league,
Mm.
how can your healthy backup not be a better alternative? Because
Yeah.
if it's not, then we got to start talking about Howie Roseman again, right?
Yeah.
Like if Toth is not a better option than the worst center in the NFL, what are we
Yeah.
doing?
Yeah. No, it's yeah, I'm even seeing videos of what was his name? Fred Johnson, the guard, right guard.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm
there's
even
been some.
dude, I'm even seeing videos, but I'm seeing videos of him like cover for Cam Jurgens because he's been missing
Well,
so
you see,
bad. You
yeah.
know?
Well, that's where it gets tricky as well. Is sometimes when you get stuff gets more complicated and you get pulls and this and that, or you get guys switching off, it can be a little more difficult to see who actually
Yeah.
messed up.
Yeah. Well, if you're like, let's
Because
tailor
that's the
him, you're
thing.
right guard.
You could see, like you're saying, you could see maybe the end of that play and something where it looks like, oh, Fred Johnson missed that guy. But to your point, well, that guy might not have been Fred Johnson's responsibility.
Yeah. Yeah, that guy shouldn't even have been there. Or the guy that Fred Johnson's currently getting is the guy who got missed. You know, if they're pulling to the left and Jurgens is supposed to pull to the left and he misses the linebacker. Well, now Cam has to get the linebacker. Now Johnson has to get the linebacker and can't even get the outside edge. So
because I saw a video, and one of the reasons I did this is another one I saw recently where you had Dickerson and Malata, and they were they were passing off the rushers, and so Dickerson passes his guy off, but then he completely whiffs on the guy he's supposed to block.
Yeah. This has been one of the.
It's a huge problem.
They're so far out of sync. You know what I mean?
Oh,
they're just so far out of sync. You can deal with a bunch of average play if they're in sync to raise them to the level of being a top offensive line. But they're just so out of sync in whatever play they are, it kind of just decreases how good they could be because they're never on the same page when it comes to responsibilities and assignments. So I'm not sure what Stoutland's doing. I don't know what they're talking about.
He's not being talked about enough. He's supposed to be responsible a lot for the run game too. Yeah, and to your point, see, that's
he's
the
just not
thing.
Smacking him up enough. He's looking at 3 potential Hall of Famers on that line, and he just doesn't want to really hold their feet to the fire.
It's crazy how much talent the Eagles actually have at the skill positions on offense. Because think about it, like what you just said about average. If the offensive line could be average, if the play calling could be average, do you know what we'd be doing with Hurts and Devontae Smith and AJ Brown and
Yeah.
Dallas? I mean, think about that. But we can't even be average. That's the problem.
Yeah. It's
It's wild. And I saw, but to your point, and again, I included this in the video because it was wild. You know, a lot of times in they get to the line, if you get to the line early enough, and usually it's the center, you know, pointing stuff out maybe about, you know, blocking assignments and this and that. There's a clip and where you've got like 4 of the 5 Eagles offensive linemen all talking and all pointing to different players and standing up and it's like chaos. How it's like that none of them know what they're supposed to be doing. If you're at the line of scrimmage to run a play and you've got almost all your offensive linemen all pointing and talking, something's wrong. Like,
no, it's a good point.
What are we doing?
Yeah, what have you been doing?
Yeah.
We're having a full-blown conversation.
Yeah, maybe that's why we get to the line with 2 seconds left, because nobody has any idea what's going on.
Such an issue.
Hey, I got a question for you on this and on the Eagles. I didn't get a chance to check because it hit me with Seattle beating San Fran. If the Rams win their last game, do they have the tiebreak advantage over the 49ers? I'm trying to think about in terms of who the Eagles play.
It's a good question. They're both 12-5. Let me take a look. Here, I just sent you a link, man.
I'm looking at it now. The Rams are 11-5, aren't they?
Yeah, Rams are 11-5, and the Niners are 12-5.
Right. They would both. That's what I'm saying. So if the Rams win,
the Rams schedule.
I'm not sure who gets the tiebreak in that. Yeah, I thought you might know, because obviously
I'm pulling it up. I'm trying to pull it up.
Okay, I don't want to play the Rams in the first game, but because I mean,
it's division because they're split.
We still could get the 2 seed, but it's highly unlikely. Yeah, which means I believe after the split, it should be NFC record,
not division record.
Yeah. I'm sorry. You're right. Division record. Division record. All right. I'm thanking you. I'm not sure how I would even say that that handle. You really could. D1EH deal?
I was thinking deal too.
I'm going with deal, but I think that's a 1 in there, right? Like not an I or an L, but I'm going to go with deal. I believe if we stay 3 seed, we're going to play the 49ers or the Rams, correct?
Yeah, so
that is my understanding.
So the Rams are currently 3-2, and they play Arizona as their last division game today.
Yeah, which I'm sure they're going to win.
Okay,
unless they don't care about seeding, maybe they'll send players.
3-2, 3-2. Keep that in your mind. And then we have the Seattle, and then we have this Niners, who are 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 3-1, 4-1, 4-2. So they're both so they'll both be 4-2. If the Rams win tonight, they'll both be 4-2. And then it goes into conference, right?
Conference. Yeah, that should be. See, it used to be. Is that not on NFL? They used to have.
Yeah, dude, my fucking. I tried finding it, but I ran out of patience because I want to make you wait. So I just started counting down their.
Oh yeah, no worries. I'm saying it used to be easier.
Yeah, I just started counting their win-loss column.
Yeah. But I mean, watch.
Deal. Okay,
we're doing all this.
Man. That makes us feel good.
We're doing all this to figure it out, and then watch. We'll beat the Commanders anyway, and the Bears will lose.
It is easy. I'm just a dumbass. The Niners have the better conference record, 9-3.
Oh, wow. Okay.
9-3. So they're done.
Wow. You know
It's
what's
finished.
wild? You know what's wild? See, now you forced me to go look, but it gives us something to talk about. Is while this year it's pretty much wide open, I think we can be in agreement that in the NFC, for the most part, if we're listening to the talking head experts, you would say that the most likely Super Bowl team out of the NFC that everyone talks about would be the Rams, right?
Dude, it's gonna come out of the yeah.
But right, I mean, just right.
Yeah.
I mean, that is who is most talked about. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because to my point, look at their record in what you just said. 6-5 in their own conference.
Yeah, well, if I remember correctly, I was listening to
Right,
the radio.
but they're the team everyone keeps saying is going to come out of the conference.
I want to say they're almost. Let me pull it up. Actually,
No problem, deal. Thank you for looking. But
they're
yeah, it's just
they're 5-4 on the road. They're 5-4 on the road.
Yeah, and 6-5 in the conference.
Yeah.
The Rams.
Now, the thing is, CDS, is that if I had to put money on, again, I'm not a betting guy. The representative from the NFC is going to come from that first game, Eagles Rams. Whoever wins that game, I would say is in the driver's seat. Whoever wins that game, I would say is in the driver's seat.
Yeah. But it looks like. So does it look like most likely we would play
the Rams,
the Niners? No,
the Niners are right. The Niners are 5. The Niners are 5. The Rams are 6. Because the Niners got the conference record over them, and then the fourth seed is going to be the division of the South.
Yeah, so we would play
Seahawks, Bears, Eagles, Bucks, Niners, Rams.
Those are the
Packers.
top 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we would play the Rams.
Yeah, we play the 6th.
Yeah. Okay. I don't want to play the Rams the first. I don't think anyone wants that. Like even the Rams, I don't think, because it's to the point you're just making. That's an NFC Championship game, not a round 1 wild card game.
That's almost like I forget what year it was, the NBA Western Conference, where it was like the Spurs and the Clippers, like there's 2 fucking favorites slugging off in the first round, something ridiculous like that. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's exactly what it is.
Yeah, that stinks. I mean,
you know what stinks worse? You know what's even more disgusting? Sorry, you know what's even more disgusting? That
the Cowboys.
We added, yeah, they're gross. Yeah, we added this is the thing, dude. We added an extra wild card team. We added an extra game, and the division winner with a sub 500 record is still gonna have a home field. I get it. I get it. You need to win the division, dude. But I thought Seattle getting in at 7-9 was bad enough. What's worse than that? An 8-9 team getting in is like, holy shit, guys.
It's funny you brought up
any easier for you guys.
I was gonna say, here's the thing on that for me in trying to be consistent is I am perfectly fine with it. And here's why. Because this happens periodically, right? Like if you go back, we'll go back to some of your favorite teams, the early 2000s. There were periods in there where the NFC East was the NFC East, and we had 3 or 4 teams that should make the playoffs, all had winning records, right? And people make that complaint, just like we see with the NFC West, where it's like, oh, we've got all these teams winning 11, 12 games, and they're not going to get home games. But it's always going to have, you're always going to have years where that happens, and it's always going to be different. Right now, it's the NFC South. In a couple of years, you may see the AFC West has a division winner that goes 8-9 or 9-8 or whatever. That's just, you're never going to eliminate that.
No,
because if you try and do it the other way, then you're going to get years where it's not like that, and you're going to say, "Oh, well, that's not fair. You've got a 12-5. You've got a division winner who won 11 games, but they're not getting a home game because another team came in second and won 12." Like, just leave it alone.
Leave it alone for sure. I'm more complaining about.
I know you agree.
Not so much the home game part. I think it's disgusting, but the fact that we have sub 500 teams in the playoffs just irk me, dude. You know what I mean? Like that just irks me.
I know.
It's damn near play-in level. It's damn near like, the team's 30 and 52, but they're the 9th and 10th seed in the NBA, and they got to play off. It's like, it's fuck off, man.
Here's the thing. Yeah, I mean, I don't actually like the 7th team being added.
Yeah.
And also, as crazy as it sounds, because take that away, right? 32 teams in the NFL, 12 make the playoffs. What is crazy about that is probably, well, I have to figure out baseball, but that is actually one of the tougher major sports. Now they all used to be tough, and it should be tough. I think the NBA to me was a joke when 8 in each conference made it.
Mm.
Now you've got 10 in this dumb play-in game. Why do we even have a season? Just have them all be in the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's just, I mean, what are you playing the seasons? I get why they're doing it. They're doing it for money. They're not doing it because, oh, this team deserves to be in or what. It's all about, they're all doing it because they have to pay these insane salaries.
Mm.
But you've got 30, how many teams in the NBA? 30, 32, 30, 32, right? Also in the NBA?
I thought it was 30. I thought it was 15 and
Is it?
15.
So it is 30. Okay. So think about that. You've got what, 2/3 of the league makes the playoffs?
Yeah. No. Yeah, I hear you.
Right? Hockey's the same way. 8 in each conference.
Yeah, well, I don't like the baseball wild card game either myself.
I don't either. I don't either. Now, I mean, I'm okay with a wild card if you want to go 3 division winners and a wild card. But if you do that and see that, then to me, you go 3 divisions and a wild card in baseball, and then it's you seed them 1 through 4.
Yeah. Well, now it's
Nobody
3
has a
divisions and
bye.
2 wild cards. Like, ugh.
Right, but that's what I'm saying, and that's ridiculous. Make it 3 and 1, seed them 1 through 4, and play.
Yeah.
But it's because it's about money. It's not about the game.
No, yeah, so it's just cash grab. It's all cash grab now.
Oh, Deal found it. I'm taking this.
Yeah, I'm assuming he's taking me at my word. I appreciate the responsibility of your trust, Deal. That means a whole lot to me. Yeah, I was reading straight from the NFL website, so my numbers are wrong. You know who to blame.
But yeah, so most likely the Eagles are going to play the Rams. So, man, what do you want to see in this game? Let's go back to the game for a minute. Like, I mean, I get a lot of people aren't playing, so basically we want to see them get healthy. But I guess there are things in terms of, well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, the play calling is probably going to be different too, just because it's a different style quarterback.
Yeah,
like I don't.
The only thing that's going to be the same
to take from this game.
There's one thing to take from this game. Is that guy going to score 3 points when he trots out on the field? Is he going to continue to build up his confidence and just hit the field goal? Just hit the field goal. Just hit the field goal. You did a good job last game hitting the field goal.
Jake will be fine.
Just come out there and hit the field goal. That's it. I can't take too much from the offense. I can't take too much from the defense. Defensive line, the offensive line can't really take too much.
I mean,
what I will say, I expect Washington to try to come back and get some type of revenge on that throwing a temper tantrum 2 weeks ago.
And we've already seen that. Even after the Eagles was announced about their starters resting, I'm seeing comments from Washington players and the coach acting like this is some big revenge game. It's like the Super Bowl or something. I'm like, so all I'm worried about is that they're going to hurt somebody.
Yeah, and if we are as physical back with them as they plan to be with us, that would make me feel good about the tightness of that locker room and say, hey, you might have been pushed, but dude, we're not with the bullshit. We're not ready to get pushed around by you guys. Fred Johnson might have beat you up 1 versus 5, and I'm going to beat you up 1v1. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind seeing some bad blood, some bad division blood. Right. I wouldn't mind seeing it. Yeah, not at all.
I mean, the problem is we've seen dirty play by Washington.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they're hurt because they know they're a bunch of simps who let the team get named the Commanders, but they seem to be very insecure about their manhood on that team. So they got a lot of dirty play that happens, which is why I'm okay with Jalen Hurts not playing, because what was it last year? It was last year, right? He got the concussion and missed the 2 games toward the end. And that was a dirty play by the Washington Redskins. We had the attempted dirty plays on the tush push, right? Where launching himself over the line of scrimmage head first
Oh
into
yeah,
Jalen
yeah,
Hurts'
yeah, yeah,
head and all that stuff. So, I mean, there's no doubt that if Jalen Hurts was playing, there would be someone who would be trying to hurt him because
yeah.
that's what Washington is.
Bounding it.
They don't have any men as fans. We saw that last year with their whole we're gonna take over the Hard Rock Cafe in
Well, I don't even think
Philadelphia
they
and all
have
this
any
other
men in
crap.
Washington anymore, right? They don't even
No,
have any
no, that's my
men in
point.
that area
I mean,
anymore.
that was a home game for us last week
Yeah, yeah. No,
in Washington,
they're all cooks
right?
over there in DC. From
Yeah,
I know.
100% deal. Washington is it's the corniest fan base I've ever come across. I mean, I almost feel bad for them.
Yeah, hey guys, we're gonna change our name to the Philadelphia Pelicans. Yeah, like hell you are, like hell you fucking are,
Okay. Yeah, here you go.
like hell you are.
I'm gonna be politically incorrect here for a second. And being a baseball guy and unfortunately I mean, I get it. You've got a little brain damage being a Yankees fan. But being a Yankees fan, you're familiar with Cleveland very much. What do you think was worse? The iconic Washington Redskins switching up because of 7 people throwing a temper tantrum and becoming the Commanders, or the iconic baseball franchise, the Cleveland Indians, changing to the Guardians?
You want to know what's worst, and I'm only going to use this as my determination here.
Deal call. Sorry, man. I was just reading that comment.
Yeah, technical
about the.
Yeah. And I'm going to use this as my determination right here. I still call the Redskins the Redskins.
Oh, so do I.
I'm more 50-50 with the Guardians and the Indians. Like I'm more 50-50. I'm more 50-50 in that respect than I am with the Commanders and the Redskins. I can't call them the Redskins, dude. Even the other day on my channel, I'm making a video about the Raiders, and in my title, I call them the Oakland Raiders. And I have somebody hit me up in the comments saying, they're not the Oakland Raiders anymore. I'm like, oh, dude, honestly, between them and the Redskins, it's just ingrained in my mind that they're still Oakland Raiders and that they're still Washington Redskins. And what's funny about that, I know they've bounced around here and there. I don't even know about I've never made the St. Louis Rams thing. I've never even done that. Because
I think a lot of people have forgotten.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, just like I think a lot of people have forgotten that the St. Louis team is the Cardinals.
Yeah.
And they were in the NFC East.
Oh, wow. Can you imagine 2 St. Louis Cardinals?
The St. Louis Cardinals were in the NFC East.
Yeah, now they're in the NL East. Different sport. But,
yeah.
Did you get it?
Yeah. So, well, I don't know if I could decide. I think they're both equally bad. And what's wild to me about both of them is I feel like the new name for both teams was actually decided by someone who thinks it's absolutely stupid and ridiculous to change the names. And they're like, how bad can we make this? Like, I mean, come on. The Guardians, the Commanders. They're 2 of the worst nicknames in sports for 2 iconic franchises. Right now, I get it. A Yankees fan, you're not going to like Cleveland, but that's an iconic Major League Baseball franchise.
Yeah.
Right. Guardians, wild. Now, here's one thing that does concern me. I saw this yesterday. 2 things. There's 2 things I want to talk about. Is there are some guys, and I know they wouldn't be playing anyway, but it seems that there are some guys that have been kept out of practice, like Dallas Goedert, I believe, is one. Like guys where I'm worried about them that like they're missing this game not to rest, they're missing it because of injury.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Dallas Goedert, I talked about this briefly last game, man. That I saw too many guys look like they're falling apart against the Bills. Yeah, like too many guys just sitting, taking an extra second to get back in the huddle, taking an extra second to get back on the sideline. We're gonna cut to commercial break because he still hasn't gotten up yet.
Yeah.
So it is worrisome, but they do need the rest. They do need the.
Oh, they absolutely
as bad as or as frustrated as we get with this team, dude. As far as the defensively, they play such a brutal style of football on that defensive side of the football, man.
Oh,
like they none of them have any regard for their body. None of them do. You know what I mean?
The only reason it wasn't a shutout is because of the second half play calling by the offense that had them going 3 and out all the time, and the defense, they got tired,
getting exhausted. Yeah,
I mean that's all that was. Otherwise, it was a shutout.
Yeah, it's
Um,
and then Dallas
yeah,
Dallas Goddard. I mean, we talked about this a couple weeks ago. Um, might be time to start looking
yeah,
to
he's at
backfill.
that age. He's
Yeah,
at that age.
yeah.
By the way,
And Calcaterra is not it either. So it's
no,
like you kind of need to get
Calcaterra. Well, that's why they actually have to look for a couple of tight ends because
yeah.
Calcaterra is not even it as a backup. Because here's the thing: he has shown flashes of being a good receiving tight end, but
Mhm.
we never throw him the ball. Instead, we use
Yeah.
him when we're running, and he's the worst blocker in the NFL.
Yeah. The one thing I would say is he got injured in training camp, and I would flirt with the idea of moving him to tight end. I would see what we could do with Johnny Wilson, man. Dude's 6'7". I mean,
Yeah,
I would just see what we could do with him as like a receiving tight end. I'm
maybe
interested
Cooper.
enough. Yeah,
What about Cooper?
I'm interested in. Oh, Darius Cooper. Yeah, him
Yeah,
as well.
Darius
Yeah, yeah,
Cooper. Yeah,
him
yeah,
too. Yeah, him too. I'm
yeah. Not Coop.
yeah. I'm like, dude. All right, I guess.
No,
Maybe dude,
sorry.
dude always finds the ball, so
although,
maybe not. Yeah, yeah. So
although
maybe not.
great basketball
Um,
player, athletic as hell, he
yeah.
probably
So
could
I
do it.
would like I would flirt. I would definitely flirt with those ideas. But
Yeah.
dude, now I was looking at some free agents for this upcoming season. Kyle Pitts is a free agent.
Okay. Well, I don't want to get ahead of the conversation, but speaking of free agents, one of the things I wanted to bring up because I was just looking at some stuff about this is who's a free agent, and we actually have a lot of free agents coming, but this is where it's kind of interesting. Jalen Phillips,
Yeah, I saw that as well.
he's going to have to get paid.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the Eagles can pay him when they look at other guys, right? Like, he's since he came over to Philly, he's fourth in the NFL, tied with Myles Garrett for quarterback pressures.
It depends where they think what they think of him as far as is he going to be part of the core or not?
Yeah. Well,
You know?
that's what I'm
'Cause
saying.
yeah.
And where's the money coming? We got it's going to be interesting because a lot of free agents and we put a lot of money. See, that's the thing with
It's about keeping the right guys. You got to keep the right guys. That's
well, of course,
right. You got
but
to keep the
you
right
can't
guys.
you can't always keep all the right guys,
Yeah.
and that's where it gets interesting with the salary cap stuff. Is Howie and I'm Howie's team. Obviously, there are a lot of numbers guys who know the salary cap stuff inside and out. Have been really great with it, but at some point, if you need to keep talent after they become free agents, it's the salary cap is going to catch up with you.
Mm.
And then you have to make some hard decisions, right? Like that's one of the reasons that the defense, and it has worked out to this point, but one of the reasons the defense has been so young the last couple of years is because the amount of money that has gone into the offense. Now, if you want to keep some of those young defensive players past their first contract, they're going to need to get paid. How do you do that? Right? You see what I'm saying?
Mm.
Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, and sooner than you think, Cooper DeJean, Kenyon Mitchell, right? These are guys. Bond's going to have another. Well, how long was his contract signed? Oh, well, Nakobe Dean, right? We're already
Yeah.
talking about Nakobe Dean like he's gone.
Mm. Yeah, that would
because
be.
How do you pay him?
I don't know. I don't know how you pay him, but from what I've seen this year, he needs to get paid.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying though. Like
he needs to get paid. Well, you only can. Well, you can't pay him all, but you can still pay him.
Okay,
it depends It depends who you prioritize.
But that's what I'm saying. But
am I keeping Jalen Carter and Jordan? Am I prioritizing Carter and Davis over Dean? That's the question that they're going to be asking themselves. I don't know. I don't know if I'm prioritizing both of them or just one of them. Or
we had a conversation about how
am I letting all my linebackers go bye bye?
We had a conversation about how important the line play is.
No, we did. But that also depends on who you have backfilling these guys. Who do you have backfilling these guys?
So, and to that point, I will say this. This is one of the things that kind of irks me, and I don't know if it's because of what happened in college or what, but I don't think there's a player in the NFL who gets worse officiating. So think about this in terms of the success he does have, who gets worse officiating every single play than Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter gets held almost every single play.
Mm.
And it never gets called. And I mean blatant holds. Like from that whiny little victim simp of the Buffalo Bills who shoves Jalen Carter and then gets slapped in the head and whines, "Oh, whoa, 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 it was a dirty play."
Yeah, I watched that so many times. I watched that so many times. I didn't even see the eye rake. I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, I think that his thumb sort of slipped in there when he was clubbing him. But again,
Okay.
you're not doing that on purpose. Like, you know what I mean? Like you couldn't make that happen on purpose. But of course, the point is, it was a retaliation. And again, if you go watch that film, the dude held Jalen Carter all game long. Jalen Carter never gets that call.
Yeah, I mean, to that point, I mean, when my nephew was playing football, dude, I would tell him every single time, dude, you take your hand and you whack him over the head with it. Is that dirty?
Yeah, I mean,
that's the fucking defensive line. That's the line. Like you're playing in the fucking trenches.
And
then,
then,
in the fucking head.
Philly Game Day is calling you out on that Johnny Wilson nonsense. He says his hands are trash.
Yeah, no, I see it.
What say you?
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't even been healthy enough to really know what he's got. You know, he's unknown. He's unknown. He's unknown.
Yeah, see, here's and Deal's point too, and I'm not sure about Ajomo's contract, right? But there's another example of he's actually been really good. Like that's the one thing the Eagles on defense have had, not just good line play, but depth. They've had depth on the defensive line.
Yeah.
And that's where it gets tricky for a team that's really good, because then you get other teams who are willing to pay your backups that are important, you know, big time starter money, right? And you can't pay 10 defensive linemen starter money.
Yeah, like if we save money re-signing a Jomo just to retain Dean, would you rather want that instead of losing Ajomo and Dean?
Oh yeah, but
you know, it could be a 2-for-1.
Yeah.
You sign one, you lose two. You sign two, you lose one.
Depending on the amount of money. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's going to be Howie is going to have himself. I mean, I'll say this in terms of talking about the Eagles. I feel like there's still going to be a lot to talk about in the offseason, because Howie's got a lot of work cut out for him.
Yeah.
In terms of, because we got a lot of free agents coming down the line, and then one at the risk, and I want to get to this play before. Yeah, Eagles. Yeah, exactly. Deal. I mean, talking about the are you talking about the hold or Jalen Carter getting shoved? Because now I hesitate to bring this up, Ben, because you've done a really good job of staying calm today.
Mm-hmm.
But
AJ Brown is not Dio.
There we go. Moving on. But no, I was going to say, to that free agent stuff, right? Like AJ Brown, if you were to get rid of AJ Brown, now it would for me, it doesn't have, you can't happen until June. But even in June, it's still a massive salary cap hit. And that means if you trade him and you take that salary cap hit, that's money you don't have to sign guys like we're talking about, right? So it's almost, in some respect, it's like, well, you want to keep AJ Brown so you have more money for other guys. As weird as that sounds. Even if
I know we've talked about this, but we've also talked about, you know, how much are the other teams willing to take on of his contract, so that hit isn't nearly as severe. So it again, a lot, dude. A lot's going to be. He's had a nice run, but there's going to be a lot of things coming up within this draft and within upcoming free agencies that kind of test Howie's maneuverability.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see how he operates.
To be fair, it's interesting in looking into it. Now, there are guys, of course, that have long, successful careers, and maybe they play a certain way that allows them to still be effective. But wide receiver does have a lot of similarities to conversations you and I have had about running backs hitting the wall, right? At that same type of thing, that, 28, 29, 30 age, where production just falls off a cliff. You can look at, what's his name? Oh man, I'm blanking now. The Rams receiver.
Puka?
No, he's the new really good guy.
Cooper Kupp?
Really,
Cooper Kupp?
What's that?
Cooper Cup.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, I think. You look at like how his production has fallen off. Now I can't think of names. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of the same similar thing. And AJ Brown is getting into that area.
Mm.
Um, that it's like, well, I mean, yeah. Here's the thing: are you going to pay AJ Brown what his contract states if he's a guy that, and also understanding who he is in terms of his locker rooms talk and stuff, if he's going to be a 7, 8, 900 yard receiver who's averaging, because the other thing you have to look at too is his yards. Let's face it, his yards are not down because he's not getting the ball. His yards are down because he's not stretching the field, and his yards per catch is way down.
Yeah, look what CC just said. AJ had 1,000 yards, but he dropped 4 to 500 yards this year, literally.
Yeah, true.
Good point.
True.
It's a good point. It's a good point.
But yeah, but that's I think last year was the last year. I think it's been higher other times. AJ was at like 15 and a half yards per carry. I think it's down to like 12.3 this year. And a lot of times, yeah, you can say, oh, that can also be play calling. But when you have a guy like AJ Brown, a lot of times it's also because he's not someone that can stretch the field anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He's not someone that gets yards after catch as much anymore. Right? He's the guy that catches the slant and gets tackled after a couple of steps, as opposed to
breaking one off
like to the house.
Like we did a few weeks ago. Yeah,
exactly. Right. And it's like he had that one break off but we had talked about, I think actually before that game, we were talking about, it's like, man, AJ Brown doesn't catch a ball and go anymore.
Yeah.
He doesn't break anything. Exactly, deal. He's 28 now, so he's going to be, he's going to be 29 next year. And it's like, I'm not trying to hate on AJ Brown. He's a heck of a talent, but I'm trying to put that like dispassionate, hey, what do we do to keep the team competing down the line, right? Like putting on that GM hat where you've got to, no matter how much you love a player or even love that player as a person, it's like, well, yeah, but it's like this. Let me put it this way. I'll put it in other terms, and you'll understand this. You may have this happen with Judge. Is, as a Phillies fan, I love everything about what Bryce Harper has brought to the Philly organization. That being said,
whoa.
I am glad that they did not extend his contract, because I don't need to overpay for a 40-year-old Bryce Harper.
Okay. Two things here. Bryce Harper's not Aaron Judge. That's number one. But number two,
he's better.
Yeah. But number two, he's not a Phillies guy. He's not a Phillies guy.
Well, he is an attitude.
No. I'm saying he had a team prior to the Phillies.
Right. No, I know.
Aaron Judge was drafted by the Yankees, developed by the Yankees, the minor league, the major league.
Right. I mean, they absolutely they got his whole drug program going. And
wasn't Ryan Howard a Phillies guy?
Yes.
You pay him until he's 40 to play for the Phillies. Dude, I even disagree with the Mets getting rid of Pete Alonso.
Yes,
you treat him like he's David Wright.
I disagree.
You make sure he retires.
But here's the point. When I mentioned talking about at 40, Bryce is going to be, I think, 39 when his huge contract ends, and he wanted an extension of multiple years past that.
Oh, so he's already there until 40.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not talking about his contract ending at 35, because what you're saying, and he wasn't even a guy that we developed. What you're saying is kind of what we're doing with Kyle Schwarber.
And I agree. It's like, dude, maybe if he, he did. I was like, but maybe if he didn't play, but again, he played for the Nationals. Dude, it's crazy enough. I have a fucking Schwarber Nationals jersey upstairs.
Real quick, CC, Rollins too, right? Like, we actually had
Jimmy Rollins. I thought Rollins was somewhere else first.
Was he?
I thought it was like an AFC team, like a Reds maybe, or an Indians maybe.
Was he?
He could have been. He could have been Phillies guy.
I thought he was a Phillies guy, man. To that point, can I give you all a piece of interesting trivia for Philly fans? And
Yeah,
Ben, you
Phillies
might
guy.
just
Phillies in
yeah, I
2009.
thought
Yep.
so. But that's what I think about that. Utley, Howard, Rollins, all Philly guys. But here's what's wild about that. Y'all remember Bo Jackson? Or I mean, even if we're all too young, like everyone knows Bo. Um, in 1989, check this out. I now I can't remember all the names, but I remember this bit of trivia to talk about how bad the Phillies front office was at the time, Ben. In
Mhm.
1989, you could have fielded a starting team, which means all positions from the All-Star game of ex Phillies.
Mm.
And yet we were bad. How bad? Now that's a bad front office. Like the only one that I can think of off the top of my head was like Ryan Sandberg was the second baseman,
Mm.
ex Philly. But like every position, literally every position, you could have taken from that All Star game and been like, yeah, that was a Philly. He was a Philly. He was a Philly. Oh my God, that's embarrassing. I mean, think about that. Put that in today's terms. Look at the Pro Bowl and
Yeah.
field a team of ex Eagles.
Yeah, no, Cece, I hear you. I still think of Roy Halladay as a Blue Jay.
Yeah, you would, but we don't because Roy felt himself to be a Philly.
Yeah,
And that's where I mean
no,
it goes about like
it's similar.
the attitude and
Yeah,
mentality as
yeah,
well. Like he
I know.
embraced it.
No, I understand, but that's you being a Phillies fan.
Well, I'm talking about him though.
Let me finish, DDS. People on the outside would consider CC Sabathia an Indian. Yankees fans would consider him a Yankee. CC Sabathia would consider himself a Yankee. You know what I'm saying? People look at CC. Oh, dude, yeah, he won.
Yeah.
He won a championship with the Yankees. He finished his career there, but he's a Cleveland Indian.
Yeah.
Whoa, no, he's not. He's a Yankee. But
I
even
consider
CC,
him
but even CC Sabathia considers himself a Yankee. Well, that's not the point.
I consider him
That's
a
not the point here.
problem with baseball. Big
I
fat
honestly
guys
see
having
Roy.
success.
I see Roy in a Blue Jays jersey if I close my eyes. Yeah, me too. Me too, CC.
Well, that's
Me too.
because he gave you headaches. I mean, you're talking about a division
Yeah,
rival,
we're
right?
talking about
Like,
CC. This is a Phillies guy. He says he agrees with me.
well, he's wrong.
Yeah, well,
mean-
yeah. I mean, dude, even Mark Teixeira, he's a Texas Ranger, dude. I'm not even gonna get into this. he's a Ranger, man. Like he's a Ranger. He's a fucking Ranger.
I mean, Roy Halladay is clearly and no one can name anything that the man did as a Blue Jay.
I look
mean,
at Cliff. I look at Cliff Lee more like a Phillies guy than I do Roy Halladay. Cole Hamill. I look at Cole Hamill more as a Philly guy than I do Roy Halladay.
Well, by the way, also same thing. If you go back to that team, also developed as a Philly. I mean, that's
Oh yeah, Pujols will always be a Cardinal, dude. Always,
Rollins, Utley, Howard, Hamels, all Philly guys.
always.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Mike Trout will always be a Philly.
Yeah, Mike Trout will always be a loser.
Hey.
Brutal.
He's as much an Eagles fan as you are.
Oh, yeah. Dude, a fucking.
But it is
you want to
wild.
talk about stat pattern,
dude. This is completely different. We got to get back on track. But to that point, you had Ohtani and Trout on the same Angels team, and that didn't win anything.
Yeah, dude, you look at some of these Aaron Judge Yankees teams. I'm going to be a homer for a second. You look at some of these Yankees teams outside of the year when he had Soto. Bro, that lineup around Aaron Judge is not good. We're talking Gary Sanchez, Rizzo. Dude, but Aaron Judge can hit them into the playoffs. Aaron Judge can Gold Glove them into the playoffs. Mike Trout just loses. Yeah, Trout and Ohtani didn't do anything. Yeah,
it is wild, right?
That's a mystery. Yeah, it's crazy. The best player to ever pick up a baseball. Whoa, can't do anything with the best hitter at the time. Oh, maybe he's just not the best player. Maybe he's just not the best player. Maybe he's just not. Maybe he's just not. Hit 330. Sure, hit 330. Hit 330. Go ahead. Be a Gold Glove in the field, please. Do that. Oh, you can't. Oh, okay, forget it. But you can pitch once every fucking 7 days. Congratulations. Good for you. Good for you.
I'm waiting for the Monday talk shows to completely change direction. I'm waiting for. I want to see what the Monday talk shows look like if Tanner McKee throws for like 350 yards.
The Philadelphia talk show. Dude, ESPN's not going to care.
Well, ESPN hates Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to waste time talking Tanner McKee. That's what I'm saying. I just don't think they're going to waste time talking Tanner McKee.
They might, because it allows them to talk about Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, but the one thing that, if we're going to criticize the media, dude, the one thing I am going to say is everybody coming to the defense of Lamar Jackson when people were floating Jalen Hurts being traded, when they were floating Jalen Hurts being sat. Did you notice that? That's the hypocrisy that frustrates me.
Well, here's the thing. I'm going out of limb, going to get controversial here. I think part of that split where you have a media that's always defended and love Lamar Jackson, right? Same media that can't stand Jalen Hurts. For me, I think part of that is image, right? You look at what Jalen Hurts is off of the field, and you look at what Lamar Jackson, right? And you've got, look at the hairstyles, look at the tats or the lack of tats and all of that. And for a lot of people in the media, they embrace what Lamar Jackson represents and they want that to be successful. And Jalen Hurts is the guy that got beat up in school because he studied like a white boy. If I'm going to go there, right? Like, I think that's part of it. It's because otherwise it makes no sense. If you're going to defend Lamar Jackson and get into it on race issues, why are you constantly trashing Jalen Hurts and vice versa? You know what I mean? Like, they both do certain things great. They both have issues. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense.
I mean, I brought up this comparison before. He's kind of like the Russell Wilson of this era.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, to a degree for sure. I feel like Russell didn't get a lot his hate until after the fact in terms of his play. But yeah, no, I think you're right. I mean,
until like the Legion of Boom moved on. Once they moved on,
that's what I'm. Yeah. That's what I mean. That's what he got. Like, it's not that I get what you're saying. Like, he wasn't. I don't think he was fully embraced, but I think it didn't flip until there was more hate until later in his career.
Yeah.
When the struggles started happening, and then especially when he went to Denver. It's wild because that's what I mean. Like, that's what I don't understand. You had last year, right? It was a huge thing to talk about how Lamar Jackson got robbed of MVP. And, people were saying, oh, there were certain reasons Josh Allen got it and Lamar Jackson didn't. And yet those same people are constantly trashing Jalen Hurts. I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, like, what I'm saying is, if you're talking specifically football, it doesn't make sense, right? It goes back to I'll go back to, I'll give a personal example with you and I, because we talked about this, we joked about this, because maybe like 6 or 7 games into the season, you and I had a debate on Jalen Hurts. Right before you had that epiphany, we're like, you know what? I'm looking at the rest of these quarterbacks. I don't want to hear any more criticism of Jalen.
I
mean, we had a conversation.
Only a week ago, Brock Purdy was Dan Marino. Literally last week, Brock Purdy was Dan Marino.
Exactly. And like right after that, we were seeing from a whole bunch of people, and sadly, even including Eagles fans, that if Eagles fans were critical of it, it was purely a skin color issue, right? And you and I had that conversation. I'm like, man, it would blow their minds to watch you and I debate Jalen Hurts when I was the one defending him and you were the one criticizing him. Right? It's like, it's such a stupid argument. Like, can we just like talk football?
Yeah.
Let's just talk football, man. We can debate and disagree enough on purely football stuff. We don't need to go crazy. I agree. Now, I agree with that 100%, CC. What do you think, Ben? Because I know you're not a huge Lamar fan, but you're
No,
not a
Lamar's
huge
no,
Jalen fan either.
no,
Would we have a
Lamar,
Super Bowl with Lamar?
no,
I don't think we would.
no, because he would have went to Sirianni and Kellen Moore last year and said, "Nah, I want to throw the ball 40 times." Why are we giving Saquon the ball 25 times today? I want to throw it 35 times.
That
We would have
100%.
lost.
And we've talked about that. He's a running quarterback. I said not a quarterback who runs. He's a running quarterback. You know what's wild? Can I?
Hold on,
Because
because we're gonna say, wait. So the Ravens have a pretty good offensive line. The Ravens have one of the best running backs in the league. The Ravens go out and get DeAndre Hopkins. The Ravens go out and get Hollywood. The Ravens have Mark Andrews. The Ravens have a pretty darn good offensive line. Yet Lamar Jackson gets spanked every time he goes up against number 15. I mean, it is what it is.
Which again goes to my point. It's like all we heard with Jalen Hurts was, because it's a super team. Look at all that talent.
Yeah.
But they don't say that about Lamar.
Oh yeah, Zay Flowers too. Yeah, I mean it's
But
his grills look nice. CC, his grills look nice. So
well, yeah, that's exactly my point. And he slapped the fan.
Yeah.
But you know what's wild, real quick, that we still have these conversations about that is you ever hear of, and I'll say hear of, but guys like Steve McNair or Warren Moon.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? They were quarterbacks who could run, but they were quarterbacks. It's like so bizarre that we're still having these conversations.
Yeah. No, it is, man. Dude, even Dante Culpepper. I mean, come on. Like, we just forget a whole
Randall Cunningham
era of guys that could do this, man.
Yeah. That's like, so I forget, someone made a comment about
he's done,
Michael Vick the other day.
He's done. He's not
with the Eagles. And I'm like, have you never heard of Randall Cunningham?
Yeah.
Like, Michael Vick's not doing anything that Randall wasn't doing already. And that's not a knock on Michael Vick. I'm just saying, let's I think, interesting deal. If I'm going to be rational, I do not see in any way how Kevin Patullo is back as offensive coordinator. But if the Eagles make another run, it's kind of the same thing like with Nick Sirianni, right? We can all talk about all his faults, but he's having success. So it's like, if we make another run, how do you justify firing Nick Sirianni, right? Now, here's the interesting thing, though. As crazy as this sounds, because I see it brought up here and there, Kevin Patullo may very well get a head coach offer somewhere. As crazy as that.
Yeah, that would probably be the best case scenario. So they don't need
Eagles,
so they don't need to like fire him. They just kind of leave.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he comes to the team and be like, "Hey, man, I need permission. They want to interview." Absolutely, Kevin.
Yeah.
We support you.
Yeah. CDS, I got about 10 more minutes left. left.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize we've been going so long.
Let me touch on this from CC. From CC. Crazy people put the blame on Harbaugh and not Lamar. I can promise it's not race driven for me, but I put blame on the players. Now, this is where I think Harbaugh gets the blame. This is where I mean, not like I don't blame him fully. Trust me, I definitely don't blame him fully. Dude, change his whole entire offensive approach, change his whole entire offense, put in new packages surrounding Lamar. Like, he's done a ton to acquiesce to Lamar's demands. But this is the problem with him. Lamar comes up to him, and for some strange reason in those conversations, he's the alpha talking to the coach. I am fully bought. I am fully sold that this is where I place blame on Harbaugh. Lamar comes up to him and says, "I want to throw 30 plus times in the most important game of the season." Maybe not those exact words, but he's pretty clear about what he wants the offense. And Harbaugh, this is his blame, says, "Yes, Lamar, we'll do that. We'll throw the ball 30 plus times. We're not going to turn around and hand it off to Derrick Henry 30 times. We're not going to turn around and put you on a quarterback draw and you take the ball 12 times rushing. No, we will. We'll throw the ball. We'll prove to everybody that you could pass." That's the problem that Harbaugh has.
Yeah,
that's his problem.
You know what?
Go ahead.
It's interesting that you said that, because as you're talking, I'm in agreement, and it also hit me. You could frame that exactly the same here with Nick and AJ. right? AJ did all that complaining, and then we forced the ball to him. And if you look at the numbers, when AJ Brown was this year, because I think it's forced and not within the offense, the more catches he gets, the worse the Eagles' record this year. Right? The more catches and yards, the more targets AJ Brown gets, the worse his record is. Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah,
Well,
and that's a problem.
I understand your point. I'm not going to defend Nick here, but I'm just going to bring another thing to the table. It's different when we're just pinpointing just the one receiver getting the ball. I'm talking about like the passing game in whole. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the passing game
Oh
in
no, I
general.
know.
If
I
we
know.
were,
But I'm just talking about what you're saying about Alpha, right? AJ Brown, it was the same thing. He goes to Nick and he's like, "Give me the football," and Nick said, "Oh, let me put the team success aside, and I'm going to just make sure we get AJ the football."
yeah, I mean, we've talked about this, and we don't know how much it is that, or it's just AJ shut the fuck up, and Jalen just throwing in the ball to shut him the fuck up.
Yeah. Yeah. I
We
mean, either way,
yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah, yeah,
AJ complained, and we went out of our way to get AJ the football, whether it's
yeah,
Nick or Kevin or Jalen or a
yeah,
combination.
yeah.
We
I had
went.
somebody
We did
disagree with
it.
me. I had somebody disagree with me in here last week when I said that the Eagles didn't look better when we forced the ball to AJ.
What do you mean, Eddie? We've talked about the Eagles a lot.
Yeah, I forget somebody in the chat. Because we were talking to AJ Brown. This chat's a little bit more anti AJ Brown, so I salute some of you guys. But yeah, somebody in the chat was like, "Dude, you really think that the Eagles' offense looked better when we weren't forcing AJ Brown the ball?" I was like, "Yeah, we did. When we're not
Well,
forcing him the ball, we look better."
the record is absolutely
It's
better.
not tough to see.
I think we're 3-4. I think 3-4 when AJ Brown has like more than 85 yards receiving or 80 yards receiving or something like that, and 7-1 when he has fewer than that. I mean, it's dramatically different.
Damn.
So,
yeah,
I mean, take it for what it is. It's just it goes back to all what we've said before about the play calling and the offensive line play, and I mean, all of that factors into it. It's just like you and I have both been down on Saquon Barkley, but we're also very aware that it's not just Saquon.
Yeah.
I think, it's a lot the offensive line. It's a combination of the two. They're blocking terribly, but when you have a franchise running back like that, he's got to be breaking more of those initial tackles than he has been this season. It's both. It's everything. The crazy thing is, even with all of that, this is a team that went 11-5 with a difficult schedule and can beat anyone. I mean, it's like you said, Ben, I still look at this and say the team that scares me, I don't even know if scare is the right word. The team that concerns me the most is the Rams.
Yeah. Yeah. He does do a lot of dancing. CC. It's like he tries to get too fancy. Meanwhile, Tank's just one cut and I'm out of here.
Yeah, Tank is a north-south guy.
Yeah.
Saquon's not as much a north-south guy. He can be, but he's looking. It's kind of like real quick. I remember this story about him. Barry Sanders didn't have a lot of touchdowns for the number of carries and yards that he got, and this was because when they got down, the 1, 2, 3 yard line, they didn't give Barry Sanders the ball. Why? Well, because of the way he ran, Barry Sanders was as likely to lose 10 yards as he was to gain 90. He wasn't a guy you hand him the ball and he's a big bull and he runs straight forward and he's going to score a short yardage touchdown.
Yeah, they did that with the Giants when they would bring in Brandon Jacobs at the goal line. I mean, later in his career, the Pittsburgh Steelers bringing in the bus. Yeah,
Jerome Bettis. Yeah, absolutely. It's a certain way.
Which I kind of wish we just had a guy like that instead of doing all this tush push bullshit. Bring in a fucking 260-pound Brandon Jacobs guy and fucking pound the fucking rock in the damn.
I think you could give Tank the ball for that. I mean, I think that's what I'm saying. They could do a lot of things at short yards and first down on with a yard to go that they just don't do for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I mean, it may be a blessing in disguise going forward that the tush push is not done well the second half of the year. It's absolutely wild that we don't have any conversations about how it has to be banned. Right now that the Eagles aren't dominant, all of a sudden it's okay. It's a football play now. We don't need to ban it.
Yeah, no, CC. The thing with Seattle, why I'm not too worried about it, dude. Tanks 215, Brandon Jacobs was 265. Holy fucking shit, dude! Holy crap! The thing with Seattle, CC, is they're gonna give us the ball. That's why I'm not too concerned about it. They're gonna give us the ball. Sam Darnold's gonna throw it to
Yeah,
Cooper at least
I
once.
don't I
You
don't
know?
trust that Sam Darnold is going to be that guy in the playoffs.
Yeah, he's gonna put the ball. Dude, if that Seattle team that we saw yesterday goes up against the Eagles, dude, they might not score a point. They might not score a
Yeah,
point.
it's true.
Um, yeah. Yeah. You better take the points against us, Seattle. Don't be getting fancy and going for it on fourth down. You're gonna get fucking destroyed. You better take the points. Don't get fancy around here. Don't get fancy around. Don't get fancy around here. We stopped the Bills on what? First and goal within the 2. Yeah. Don't get fancy around here.
Yeah, no. The way we're built right now, if we have an opportunity to take points, we got to take points.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm talking about the opposing team. I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The opposing, like, dude, if it's first and goal and you guys get stopped, dude, don't get fancy around this team, man. You better count your blessings when you get in goal. Yeah,
100%. Wow.
All right, C-Des. What else you got for me?
All right, man. No, I think we're good. I didn't realize we've been going this long.
Yeah.
Appreciate everyone showing up and hitting us up in the chat and hanging out. Well, I don't know if we, like I said, I don't know that we can take much from this game.
Eddie, if you're still here, the first 45 minutes are usually mostly all Eagles stuff. And then we start diving around, kind of making comparisons, drawing from things that are also happening within the league. So if you're here solely for the Eagles stuff, the first 45 minutes we're usually dedicated to the green, and then we start kind of drawing analogies and bringing things up and comparing. And
the whole NFL is relevant, right? We're part of the NFL.
Yeah.
So,
and if we got to trash Lamar to make Jalen look a little bit better, man, I mean, you found your guy.
Yeah, right. 100%.
You found your guy.
100%.
CC, I appreciate you coming by, CC, hanging out in the chat with us, man. Salute to you. Deal. I think you were here from like minute number 1. So I appreciate you coming in here as well, Deal.
Absolutely, man.
Eddie stopping by. I appreciate all you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us today.
As always, I really do appreciate it. Here's one of the things that is rare. You can go watch and enjoy the Eagles game with zero stress.
Yeah.
Right.
Unless Jake Elliott misses a field goal. Unless he misses a field goal. Then it's shit.
You had to ruin it. You had to ruin it. You couldn't just leave it on the good vibe of go enjoy the game.
Appreciate your Deal. Yeah.
All right, man. Appreciate it, Deal.
Enjoy your day, guys.
Talk to y'all later.
Peace.